Hello, my little stars. This is Prank Stars 101 here, and welcome back to yet another video. Welcome back to Sally Face Revisited. I want to say really quick, I apologize if my voice sounds different than my stream yesterday. Yesterday I was streaming on my PlayStation 4. Today I'm streaming on my PlayStation 5. And I will also be streaming on the PlayStation 5 for the entirety of episodes 4 and 5 as well. Just to let you guys know. But besides that, everything else should be normal. For those of you that did not watch my stream yesterday, which, if you didn't watch my stream of Sally Face Revisited yesterday, I would highly recommend watching that first. Or else you could potentially be very lost as to where I am right now, if you've never seen this game before. But I'm continuing off from where we left off yesterday in episode 3 of Sally Face. I had just picked up the last page of the journal. I did the quest to get every single page of this journal. This journal, for those of you that do not know, is a major plot twist. For those of you that don't know too much about Sally Face, and just in general, gives a lot more backstory to what is happening with the cult and everything. So I did have time to read the first 5 pages yesterday, but for those of you that have not watched my stream yesterday, I'm just going to go ahead and read the pages that I did already read, as well as reading the rest. So, I did grab the last page. There are 11 in total. There's 8 pages that you grab before you go down into the dungeon, and then the last 3, pages 9, 10, and 11, you grab after you go down into the dungeon. The first one being immediately after you go down into the dungeon. So if you guys would like to know how to get these pages, I would recommend watching my video before this, so you guys can know. And yeah, but I will go ahead and read off and show off what all the pages say. An old worn journal that I found. Well, I can't remember exactly where I found it. The pages are torn out, and I have a strange feeling holding this. Let's start from page 1. I apologize if I read a bit strangely, because I'm playing on my PlayStation 5 on a much smaller TV, so it's kind of harder to read the text a little bit, so I have to get really close to my TV in order to read it, but it's all good. So I do want to say too, the reason why this journal is so important, this journal is written by Jim Johnson, which is Larry's dad, that has mysteriously disappeared. And we find out why in this journal as well as his backstory, because it's actually pretty interesting. So starting with page 1, keeping in mind all these journal pages Jim Johnson wrote. Today I lost everything. It's gone. All gone. I never imagined our world would end like this. There was no warning to the plague of shadows that invaded. The day began with a trip to the Sky Towers alongside of Evelyn and her children. My company had been showcasing a new line of drifters, capable of bending space-time and traveling even greater distances across the galaxy. Evelyn was ecstatic and couldn't wait to pilot the new model. Standing at the exhibit, I turned to look at Eve, who wore this big, goofy grin that was almost too large for her face. Sorry. Her smile brings a familiar childhood warmth to my heart. She was the kindest soul anyone could ever know and always found happiness, even in trying moments. Yet, Eve's smile couldn't withstand the next moment. The events will be seared in my mind forever. A low, rumbling noise muffled all surrounding sounds and was swiftly accompanied by the hideous screaming of the masses. As I watched the smile dissolve from Eve's face, panicked terror settled in my gut, mirroring the look of dread she now expressed. I turned to look behind us, where she was now gazing. The shadows were seeping into the tower and had already taken many lives. Evelyn's two boys were across the room, staring down over the balcony rail at the chaos below. In an instant, they were consumed by the shadow. Eve let out a shriek so loud I thought my ears would burst. I had to hold her back from running straight into certain death, a difficult thing to do considering I also wanted to run to her boys, yet it was clear that they were gone. I pulled Eve into one of the drifters and quickly made sure she was secure before taking off. As we smashed through the tall glass windows of the tower, and then through the atmosphere, the shadows consumed the entire planet. There was nothing left, like some insignificant hole in space, where our world used to be. I lost everything. We lost everything. I turned to speak to Evelyn, my mouth ajar, but no words could form. Her warm spirit had turned cold and brittle. Tears were pouring like rivers down her cheeks, and her body was shaking uncontrollably. She's in shock. I pray that we can somehow survive this, and that we can somehow find happiness again. Page 2. That was just page 1. This is page 2. We've been drifting through space for weeks now. The first few days were fuzzy, most likely from being in a state of shock. I forgot about this journal, yet, as much as I try, I cannot forget about the shadows. A constant fear persists in the forefront of my mind. Are they pursuing us? Am I simply delaying an inevitable annihilation? Yet, if such darkness does exist, then perhaps there is some kind of opposite force that will shine kindly upon my sister and I. Evelyn still isn't speaking much. She's absolutely devastated. I'm not sure that she'll ever be the same again, if we even live through this. Earlier today, I'm almost positive that I saw a beacon on our radar. It was a brief flash, but if my eyes were not deceiving me, then that means we are in the range of a habitable planet. It's a great distance away, so we'd have to use the remaining power in the drifter to make the jump. This is why I did not immediately act on it. However, our food cartridges are running low as well. We've got enough for a few days at best, so we either risk our lives jumping to a potentially habitable planet, or we risk our lives waiting until our food runs out to see if we can find a better chance somewhere else. I asked Eve what she thought we should do. She's been silent for hours. I'm not sure that It blinked again! The computer is saying that it's not only habitable, but that it's also teeming with life forms and is over 70% water. Eve cautiously nodded her head in agreement. This is our chance. In a few minutes, we will make the jump. I'm sweating profusely and my hands won't stop shaking. This will either be the end of my life or the beginning of a new life. Both thoughts were equally terrifying. Page 3. I've never felt so utterly hopeless. She's gone, just vanished. How is this possible? Where is Evelyn? The jump was a success, and the planet is beautiful, filled with lush forests, fresh air, and small creatures for nourishment. Eve would love it here. One moment she was right next to me, then in an instant, right after the jump, she was gone. It's not possible. I just can't understand how this could happen. I've been searching the forest for days, hoping that there could be a chance she was here somewhere. Maybe when we warped, I saw her! She was calling for help, but when I started running and yelling her name, she fled. I lost sight of her, but have a good idea of the general direction she's heading. If there was if there were a miscalculation in the drifter, I suppose it's possible that she was teleported directly to the planet. It seemed highly unlikely, but I don't know what else would explain this. I have to find her and approach with caution. She could be in a traumatic state, confused and panicked. I've come across a small town. Humans! Early civilized humans! The odds of this are astronomical. The drifter would have changed our world had it not been destroyed before they went to market. I came across a small brick building. Standing outside was an elderly woman. She was the first contact I had with these people. She welcomed me as if she had been waiting for my arrival. Despite the kindness she presented, I could sense something hidden and dark deep within her eyes. I felt uneasy around her, yet also a strong sense of familiarity, as if we knew each other in another lifetime. I'm not one to normally believe in such things, but the sensation was potent. The old lady invited me into the building, where she left me on my own. It was then that I met a younger woman, closer to my age. She was strong, kind, and beautiful. I was so overflowing with emotion that I broke out in tears. A normal stranger would have avoided a grown man making such a scene, but not this woman. She took me right into her arms. This only made my sobbing worsen. We went into her apartment and she sat me down, got me a blanket and some hot coffee. A long conversation was to follow. I, of course, couldn't tell her the full truth. How could I? I would sound like a lunatic and quite possibly find myself imprisoned or worse. I told her that I had lost my home and my family and didn't know what to do. She spoke with the owner of the building, a man named Terrence Addison, and said that they had an extra room I could stay in on the 5th floor. She's a lovely woman, Lisa Garcia. Talk about Lisa, Larry's mom. That was page 3, page 4. It's been over a year since I arrived on this planet. In that time, I've been studying as much as I can about the local society, history, and general ways of the people here. Everything is remarkably similar to my home planet, which has made it easy for me to fit in. One second. I managed to get a job at a local factory and have really been enjoying the music here. I took up the surname Johnson, since my identifier, Zerenkampt 4279, would likely raise some suspicion. For a while, I would go out every day to search for Evelyn. In the beginning, I could have sworn I saw her in the apartment building, multiple times. Eventually, I came to the realization that it was just my mind playing tricks on me. I was in mourning and had to overcome extraordinarily traumatic events. I will always miss my old life and my family, but it's best for me to focus on what life I have now. Focus on the good things. Lisa taught me that. She's been a great help. I may have lost my mind if it weren't for her. For the first time in my life, I'm in love. I've never felt such a strong connection to anyone before. The best part is that she feels the same way. What a bittersweet series of events this has been. I've been staying in her apartment for about 5 months now. Later today, I plan to ask her for her hand in marriage. Together for 5 months and you're already asking to marry her? I mean, hey, you do you. You guys must be truly happy. It's similar to a union ceremony back home. She said yes! We had a wonderful night together. Everything was so perfect. Lisa is fast asleep now, but I'm too excited to sleep. Cute. Page 5. I'm having nightmares again of Evelyn. We are sitting in the drifter. I look over at her and she smiles. Then her smile melts away in a burst of flame that engulfs her body. I struggle to get my seatbelt off, but it's stuck. Eve becomes a charred corpse right in front of me, screaming in agony. That's when I wake up. It's the same dream every time. I'm starting to wonder if this is a repressed memory. Did Eve burn up when we made the jump and my mind simply blocked this out? If that's the case, why am I dreaming of it? It's unsettling to say the least. The timing isn't so great either. Lisa and I are expecting a baby within a few months. I'm both excited and extremely nervous. Prior to the conception, I did extensive research into the biology of humans on this planet. I am no biologist, but from what I could understand, we are of the same species. Well, I can't imagine that we are 100% exactly the same, but we are so close that I think this will be okay. I've even been to local doctors and had my blood tested and everything. Of course, I didn't tell them that I wasn't quite from around these parts, but it all came up fine. This gave me an intriguing thought. Even though our solar systems are thousands of light years apart, could it be that the humans of our two planets share some kind of common ancestor? And if so, how many other planets are out there, harboring human or humanoid life? Now we continue where we left off yesterday with page 6. Larry Johnson, our perfect, healthy baby boy. I'm still reeling from yesterday when our child was born. A large weight was lifted from my shoulders and joy came flooding in to replace it. I knew from the moment I saw him that I'd do anything for him. This is a life form I've created with Lisa, and we both feel a tremendous, unconditional love for our boy. When we first saw him, we wept tears of joy. I hope we can stay this happy forever. I took the whole week off so that I can be here with my family. As I was putting little Larry to bed, something strange happened. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw a shadow that moved quickly across the room, knocking over a box of toys. Fear coursed through my veins. My heart was pounding so hard I thought my ribs could break. Flashbacks of my past flickered through my thoughts. The plague of shadows. My homeworld. Evelyn. Then I looked down at Larry's face and he smiled at me. It was likely just baby gas, but his expression calmed me down. He's safe. I'm safe. Lisa is safe. If the plague had followed me here, it would have destroyed this world long ago. It was just my thoughts playing tricks on me again. I've been stressed out lately and haven't slept well in weeks. I must put these fears behind me. I have to be healthy and alert so I can be there for my family. They are my number one priority. A few years have passed since my last entry. For the most part, everything has been great. Life has its ups and downs, but overall it's mostly good. I'm working my way up in the factory. Larry is happy and healthy. So is Lisa. The three of us have a lot of fun together. And we have another baby on the way. This one wasn't exactly planned, but we couldn't be more excited. Aside from these bright spots in my life, I feel as though a darkness is lurking in from unseen corners. Something is wrong with this building. Things happen without explanation or rationality. Most people here still believe in the concepts of gods and ghosts. They would call this building haunted. These archaic ideologies may hold some small trace of truth after all. Lisa claims she's never seen anything unnatural happen here, and that it's just people's imaginations. This time, I'm positive that my mind isn't playing tricks on me. I have nothing but respect for Lisa's scientific worldview, and how could she believe in such things if she's never seen the proof with her own eyes? I don't hold that against her, but for now I will keep my findings to myself. The old woman was the first to greet me in this world. Her name is Allison Rosenberg. Miss Rosenberg. Most call her Rose. This morning she told me a story of how she came to this planet. If it's true, that would mean she is well over 100 years old, possibly over 200. It doesn't seem very likely, considering the average lifespan on this planet is around 70. My God. Rose requested that I meet her later tonight. She said she had something important to show me, and there was a sense of urgency to her words. When I declined, she clutched my sleeve and said there would be dire consequences to denying fate itself. I pulled my sleeve free and walked away. I don't have time for this delusional woman's games, and I certainly don't believe in fate. Oh boy. Though, as I sit here with Larry, I'm starting to get a sinking feeling in my stomach. Rosenberg's words echo through my head. Why am I so haunted by foolishness? I need to avert my thoughts from such things and back to reality. Look how happy Larry is, playing his video game. He gets so mad at these little pixels on the screen and so elated when he finishes a level. I wish I could show him the neural games of my world. He would have loved those. Anyway, Lisa should be back soon, and I'm going to make us a nice dinner. Tragedy prevails once again. We lost a baby, stillborn. Oh. Lisa is devastated. She hasn't said much and hasn't left the bedroom in a few days. I tried my best to explain to Larry, but he's so young that he doesn't fully understand. From what I understand, they were going to have a daughter, but as said here, stillborn birth. Sucks. I hope that doesn't ever happen with me. Good God. He's angry at us because he thinks we lied to him about getting a baby sister. Our happy family has this giant crack in it now. Well, that's what it feels like at least. Seeing Lisa so isolated is making this even harder to bear. I hate seeing her in pain like this. It breaks my heart. I'm sitting in the car with the groceries. It's freezing, but I let the cold take me. Addison Apartments, the small 5-story brick building, protruding from the dark forest, looming over me. I want to scream. Why? Why do I deserve this? But I am not so self-centered to think that the universe owes me anything. The only thing for me to do now is to be there for my family as we attempt to crawl out from this hole. God. Last night I had the most horrible nightmare. There was a man in the shadows, standing on a pile of bodies. He whispered to me. He was trying to tell me something, but I couldn't make any of his words. I couldn't make out any of it. Getting tongue-tied again, sorry. He was trying to tell me something, but I couldn't make out any of his words. I looked down at my feet and realized I was standing in a pool of blood. The entire ground was blood, and beyond that was simply darkness. A bony, cold hand grasped my shoulder. As I turned around, a familiar face came into focus. It was Rosenberg, though she looked skewed and her eyes were sunken in, like a zombie that had risen from the dead. Oh boy. My earbud keeps sliding on my ear, it's so annoying. When she opened her mouth, maggots poured out. Ew! Her tongue smacked against her gums and lips as she spoke. Her words, again, continued to haunt me, even after waking. If you do not join us, everything you love will wither and die. The moment she spoke, I saw Larry and Lisa's twisted corpses. Today, I decided to finally meet with Rose. She revealed to me an old temple that rests below this very building. A small group of people meet here to carry on the traditions of an ancient society. They believe in an archaic magic that seems dark and unnatural. I wouldn't have believed any of this, if not for the fact that I've witnessed its power firsthand. Yet, what they call magic, I believe it to be something else. A thought that frightens me, but I must delve deeper to uncover the truth. The journey I'm about to embark on may be the last thing I do, but I must do everything I can to protect my family from the unseen darkness. This is the last page. Sal, please read this journal I've kept over the past few years, so that you will begin to understand what is at stake. I know Lisa and Larry must hate me for leaving, But please know that I have loved them and love them still, beyond anything else in life. And that is the very reason I had to leave, to protect them. You are a good man, Sal, and I'm glad that you and Larry will form a strong kinship. This must seem very strange to you, and I haven't got much time to explain everything. In short, there are forces at work here that are far beyond imagination. I've seen glimpses of the future. I've seen glimpses of the past. Now I must play the role I was meant to play. I will sacrifice my life for those I love, to put an end to this madness, to stop the dreadful darkness that persists in this world. You must never reveal the truth to Larry or Lisa. They will only go digging for answers, and that would put them in great danger. Please, Sal, you must protect them for me. They are your family, and that makes you my family too. I'm sorry your life has been filled with tragedy, and I'm sorry to say that there is more misfortune awaiting you. But you are destined to play an important role in all of this. In time, everything will be clear. Sincerely, Jim Johnson. And that's it. So, yeah, that's Larry's dad's backstory, Jim Johnson's backstory. He once had a sister named Evelyn. She died. And Rosenberg's now dead. Yeah, it's a lot, to say the least. But now that we have all of that out of the way, we can finish episode 3 of Sallyface. We head to the left to find Ash. Ash! Ash, are you okay? Ash? Is she's still breathing. Come on, help me get her up. Huh? She's awake. What's going on? Where are we? Dude, you fell down the stupid trash chute. I thought we lost you for good. I'm so glad we found you. Are you okay? Yeah, I think so. Just a little fuzzy and sore. No broken bones. Well, none of mine, at least. Heh, man, Ash, you wouldn't believe what we went through to find you. It's all thanks to Sally. He had one of his vision thingies, and then he found this old cellar door in the basement, and then we went down these long, creepy stairs, and then we found this crazy-ass cult temple or some shit down here. And then there were all these puzzles and traps and mazes, and Todd! Todd is holding the front gate open for us. We should go back there. Wow, this is so much to take in. I can't believe all this is right below the apartments. Thanks for coming for me. I don't know what I'd do without you guys. No problem, Ash. Video game me, because we have the same name. So what are we going to do about all of this? Mrs. Packerton has killed a lot of people, and the baloney... Ugh. We can't just ignore this. Definitely not. Judging by what you guys have told me about the inner rooms of the temple, and about Mrs. Packerton's apartment, it could be possible that she's gotten herself wrapped up in the occult as well. Even if the congregation has long since dissolved, she could have stumbled upon this door just as we have. Or maybe she's the last remaining member, trying to carry out whatever their plans were on her own. You don't think she's trying to bring the red-eyed demon back, do you? Hopefully not, but we'll be prepared if she does. Man, we need to stop her. Preferably, before that happens. I know going to the local police isn't an option. Maybe we should call the state police or the FBI or something. At least this time our parents can't deny what's happening. They'll help us once we show them what's below this building and what Packerton has been doing. Ash is right. We should get our parents involved this time. Maybe we should just kill her. What? Mrs. Packerton. Maybe we should just kill her. She's old, so it shouldn't be that hard. We can't just kill someone, Larry. Then we'd be no better than her. Normally, I would be against harming others, but in this case, Larry might be right. Todd, Larry, seriously, you guys? Think about all the strange, unexplainable occurrences that happen in Addison Apartments and in Knoxville in general. The more I think about it, the less likely it becomes that Mrs. Packardon is acting alone. She must be getting outside help. It would explain the police cover-ups of Charlie and the Holmes family murders. There's no telling how far this corruption reaches. Goddamn. I guess that makes sense. Sal, you were saying something similar earlier today, too. I don't know, maybe this does fall on us to take care of. Maybe. You know, the biggest worries normal teenagers have are about petty things like being popular and having nice hair. Not us, though. We just have to worry about saving the world, I guess. Big responsibility for a teenager. 6 watching, oh my lord. Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So, what happened? We just decided to sleep on it. It was nearly morning anyway, and everyone was beyond exhausted. And the teacher? What did you decide? Did you go to the police? Didn't have to. Turns out Packardon got into a car accident on the way home that same night. She and the other driver were killed on impact. Wow, that's quite convenient. You can look it up for yourself if you don't believe me. Sorry, the voices are kind of weird right now. My voice is like shot from reading all those notes. It was on the front page the next day. Beloved Knoxville High teacher killed by drunk driver. Of course, you won't find anything about the dead bodies in her apartment or how she was feeding the students human flesh. That was all covered up. I see. I don't care if you don't believe me. It's the truth, and you said you would air the full story. Don't worry, Sal. It will be aired in full. I always keep my word, and I think the people will be very interested in what you have to say. Everyone is watching you now. You spoke with a great fondness about your friend Ashley. I understand that you two were very close. You even considered her one of your best friends, along with Larry Johnson and Todd Morrison. Is that true? Hello. Welcome to the stream. Yes. Have you seen this? The Sally Face Killer trial today. Sources say that the prosecutor will call Ashley Campbell to testify against the Sally Face Killer. Campbell is a longtime friend of Sally Face, and they were said to be very close in their high school years. Oh, Sal's crying. What about Todd? You said you'd tell me about Todd. Oh, right, of course. We shot a segment on Morrison yesterday. He's still in the hospital after what happened that night. He's still out of it, unresponsive, still not talking, so we couldn't have a conversation with him. We mostly spoke with his doctor. We'll find out what happened to Todd tomorrow when I do episode 4 of Sally Face. I'm sorry, Sal. Apparently Morrison hasn't shown any signs of improvement. In fact, his condition has been getting worse. They say that the damage he suffered that night is irreversible. He doesn't know fantasy from reality, and all he wants is to die. When he is denied the release of death, he becomes extremely violent. I need to help him. Somehow, I need to help him. Even the doctors and trained professionals haven't been able to help Todd. How do you suppose that you'll be able to? Because I know the truth. I know what really happened. I know what's wrong with Todd. Oh boy. He is possessed by the red-eyed demon. Oh boy. And with that, that is the end of episode 3 of Sallyface. This is the start of episode 4. However, we are not doing episode 4 until tomorrow. Depending on how long things take me, I may have to chop up episode 4 into 2 parts. But even if I do have to do that, I'm still going to be streaming the entirety of episode 4 tomorrow, even if I have to do it in 2 separate streams. So be it. I'll have this talking go by quickly, because the alarm is going to get very annoying very quickly if I don't. But this is the end of episode 3. I promise I will do episode 4 tomorrow, even in 2 separate streams if I have to. So, yes. So thank you guys so much for watching the stream. If you liked it, please give this video a like. And if you'd like to see me play more Sallyface, please join into my stream that I will start tomorrow at... tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you guys so much for watching and have a sparktacular day.